Hey guys, I come to you from this unconventional setting in my backyard to bring you some breaking news from the RNC convention. Donald Trump has chosen a running mate, and after an apprentice like sort of sweepstakes, he has selected Ohio Senator JD Vance. I can pull up for you on the screen the official Trump Truth Social announcement that he put out. And he says, after lengthy deliberation and thought, considering the tremendous talents of many others, I have decided that the best person suited to assume the position of Vice President of the United States is Senator JD Vance of the great state of Ohio. JD honorably served our country in the Marine Corps, graduated from Ohio State University in 2 years, summa cum laude, and is a Yale Law School graduate where he was editor of the Yale Law Journal and president of the Yale Law Veterans Association. JD's book, Hillbilly Elegy, became a major bestseller and movie as it championed the hardworking men and women of our country. JD has had a very successful business career in tech and finance, and now during the campaign will be strongly focused on the people he fought so brilliantly for, the American workers and farmers in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Ohio, Minnesota, and far beyond. So this had effectively come down to four different candidates: Glenn Youngkin, governor of Virginia; Doug Burgum, governor of North Dakota. Those were sort of the more moderate establishment, donor-friendly seeming candidates. Marco Rubio, who also kind of fits in that lane, of course, senator from Florida, little Marco, during times gone by. So during the day, we got word that Marco Rubio had received word that he would not be the pick. Then we got word that Doug Burgum received the call that he would not be the pick. So that left us sort of with Youngkin and JD Vance. Trump now making it official. We're expecting him to speak sometime in the next hour. So we'll wait and see that. We'll have all that coverage for you tomorrow in the show and do full analysis for you tomorrow with Sagar. Sagar knows JD Vance pretty well. So, and, you know, like some of his politics. I don't like some of his politics. So we can talk about all of that and what it means. But I can tell you that Don Jr. had apparently really been pushing JD Vance. He's seen as more sort of MAGA populist, Trump-aligned. There was a lot of reporting about how donors really were not excited about the idea of JD Vance being on the ticket. He's a little bit more of a wild card in terms of economics. He's a little bit less of the just like Reagan trickle-down doctrinaire, open to more of the trade war with China, tariffs, those sorts of things. Rupert Murdoch had reportedly been making an affirmative push against JD Vance and in favor of Doug Burgum or a Glenn Youngkin type. You know, electorally, JD Vance, I think, isn't an obvious electoral pick. He's a senator from Ohio. Ohio's going to be a red state, whether JD Vance is on the ticket or not. He doesn't come from a minority demographic group where you might think, you know, through the identity politics lens, like, oh, if I pick a Tim Scott, maybe more black people will vote for me. If I pick a Marco Rubio, maybe more Hispanics will vote for me. I don't agree with that analysis. I'm just saying this is sort of standard political analysis that many people engage in when they're thinking about what their VP brings to the table. JD is more of, I guess, the play of someone who's a true believer, which is ironic in and of itself, since he had previously been a Trump critic when he burst on the national scene with his national best-selling book, Hillbilly Elegy, which was sort of initially like a liberal's way of understanding Appalachia and understanding the white working class. He ends up as a CNN contributor. As I said, he was a critic of Donald Trump in very specific ways. Then, once he decided he wanted his own political career, made a real hard shift and became a uber Trump loyalist, and has been since that time, you know, a high-profile, constant defender of Donald Trump, very aggressive, sort of a bulldog for Donald Trump. So those appear to be the qualities that were valued in this selection process. So very interesting to see. Be interesting to see, you know, the reactions from Democrats, how they want to go about defining JD Vance. It'll be interesting to see any of the Republican donor types, how they go about all of this, how JD Vance presents himself now at the RNC in the wake of the attempted assassination of Donald Trump. JD had been one of the people who was very aggressive in blaming Democrats. Now Donald Trump is putting out there, hey, we want to be the unity people. We'll see if that lasts. We'll see if that translates into how JD positions himself as well. So there's a lot about this that is surprising, that's interesting. As I said, it's not exactly an electoral play, so the calculus there is interesting as well. And tomorrow we will have full coverage for you with Saagar. Emily Jashinsky is also on the ground at the RNC, so we're going to bring her in live. She can tell us all about what's happening there and what her sources are saying about what went into this pick and the reaction from the various factions of the Republican Party. So we'll have all of that for you, plus the latest on the assassination attempt. We've got a Secret Service, a law enforcement expert who can come in and talk about some of the failures there. We're looking at the polls that are coming out showing that Biden continues to trail, and the debates, his debate performance really continues to hinder him. The conversations have not completely quieted about pushing him off the ticket, but that seems sort of frozen in place. So a lot to bring you tomorrow, and I will be there alongside Saagar to talk about all of that then. See you soon.